The London Guardian and even the Associated Press officially are saying we're in a police state and that the press is being intimidated. They are arresting members of the State Department who just give their opinion to a journalist about how dangerous Kim Jong-un is. That's totally protected. The Espionage Act is giving secrets to a foreign power. Everything the federal government does, selling out to globalists, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, the private Federal Reserve that's European-owned, saying NATO's over our military. The Army has come out and said they don't need presidential authorization to quell unrest. And this is all unprecedented treason. And then Fox News goes over to the State Department. I mean, they openly talk to people. It's not even hidden. And they're surveilling people in the State Department that talk to Fox News. I mean, what do you think goes on in Washington? What do you think reporters do? And they're now talking about arresting him, saying he's a criminal. I mean, these people aren't playing games. They may march out and try to arrest us all. And and that's at the point, folks, where the civil disobedience has to go. You have to hit the streets nationwide, aggressively. And then if they put it down with force, 1776 kicks in. And I've done everything I can to stop this. But they start trying to arrest the press en masse and put us in the re-education centers that are in the official Army manual. That is offensive oppression, and we have every constitutional right to defend ourselves. I don't want to go there, and I've tried my hardest. But they know they're losing the political battle with us. They're going to start something. They're going to start something. And by the way, you're going to lose that too, punks. But you listen, I don't have a bunch of bravado. I'm not looking for trouble. But if it starts, ladies and gentlemen, they started it. And if they mean to get a war, they're going to get one. There's only so much we're going to take from these people. There's the old saying, you can do you-know-what to me, but you can't rub it in. And they're just in our face, you're rubbing it in. But we're winning because we just sit back while they race around committing all these crimes, and we expose them. And they get away with more and more and more. And I believe the false flag is going to be going around and staging events to blame it on the liberty movement, or staging something and saying that media leakers caused the terrorists to attack or something. And by the way, the White House is listening right now. Their operations, their transition director running Media Matters, they're listening. They admit they listen every day. But the White House itself is listening. And why are they listening? Because they know, I know what they're doing. I'm the detective full-time on their butt who knows who they are, knows how they think, and knows how to stop them. And I freak them out. And by the way, I freak them out because I'm committed unto death to not stop. I have the spirit of 1776 in me, and I do not fear them. They can kill me, kill my family. People ask, Alex, why don't you have security? Alex, why aren't you more paranoid? Why don't you wear a bulletproof vest? Because if they strike me down, it's God's will. I am not going to sit here and live in fear. My fear is having 30 people banging on the door a day where I can't get my job done. My fear is not being articulate enough. My fear is not getting the job done. My fear is not beating these people. My life has zero value outside of a free society. I love life, and I never want to die, and I never commit suicide. If they kill me and say it was suicide, it's pure bull, folks. But I'll say this, if we don't beat them, life is not going to be worth living. You understand that? I'm not going to sit here and watch my children go into hot bondage. Not Cold War bondage, but hot enslavement. A war. A hot war. And I'm not going to go out violently and oppose them unless they're shooting at me. Because that's not effective. That's when you're losing, is when you're in the shooting war. I will pull out all sorts of tricks before I'm dead to attack these people politically and hurt them with the truth. And folks, we've got the truth. We need to stab them with it. Not worry about who's won in the fight. Not worry about what's going on. Just stab, stab, stab. And folks, if we all just start stabbing with the truth, this sucker will bleed out real quick. Death by a billion cuts. So start shoving the knife in, ladies and gentlemen. Info war is 90% of warfare, the Pentagon's own words. We have the truth, the globalists have lies. Savage them. Destroy them. All you guys talk about a shooting war and how you're going to, they keep pushing it, you're going to go out and do all this. Folks, you've lost. We'll end up winning that war, but that's a major failure, a huge failure. We want to beat them with the info war. That's the 90% of the war. It is violence. I have been successful because I am violent with the truth. In fact, I'm not violent enough. My crew is not violent enough. These people are violently attacking our liberty, violently robbing our freedom, violently bankrupting our country, violently using our name for all their evil operations, violently trying to intimidate us. They are an outrage. They are an abomination. They are a fraud. They are a despicable joke. Put it back on screen. Yeah, there's the Infowars.com headline with links to her Council on Foreign Relations speech where she said, we are losing the info war. Yes, witch. We are finding our human spirit again. We're finding the righteous spirit to not even hate you, but be disgusted by you and just be animated with energy to pull you down. It's a battle of spirit, ladies and gentlemen, and they're trying to kill the human spirit. They're waging war against the human spirit because only the dumb will go along with all this idiocy. It's elementary. These are the most selfish people in the world. I am not even worried about my own life. I am in love with humanity. I am in love with your success. I am in love with everything you've done, the paintings, the art, the literature. I don't get jealous when some guy's got a gorgeous wife. I admire that. That's the spirit that builds civilizations. And you've got that spirit too. These people have the opposite spirit. They are envious and jealous, and they don't like you. It's painful to them, the beauty, the goodness, the purity, the creativity, the love, the compassion, the empathy. It's painful to them because they've turned to darkness out of their single drive to be in a position of power. There is no future without this species on this planet. I mean, it is beyond insane how beautiful the universe it is. It is beyond unimaginable that I say this, we're on a planet with a thin atmosphere, spinning through space around a gas giant, and we can stare out into space and see other planets, and there's just life all around us. I was swimming in the river the other night after I went for a jog, and the sun had gone down, but over the planet, pink light was hitting the clouds, and I was in like 15 foot of water going down and picking up rocks in crystal clear water in a spring feeding out the Colorado River. You're not supposed to swim in there. I do whatever I want. Not your slave. Wasn't playing your video games then, wasn't on the computer then. I was in a river with big snapping turtles and fish all around me, and I saw waves of pink from the waves above me, and I came up out of the water, and there were bats, and there were skylarks, and chimney swifts flying around eating bugs everywhere, and I saw a big owl fly by, and I was just sitting there in just absolute awe of the universe. And it's that stillness, it's that wholeness. It was looking up into the sky, the pink sky. It was heaven. It was heaven. They can't take that away from any of us. They feed off our fear. Well, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm only afraid that we fail. I'm only afraid that you not be defeated. I mean, I look at giggling children with discovery in their eyes and love, and I think about how they want to hurt them and brainwash them and turn them into evil people and want to shoot them up with deadly vaccines and want to feed them GMO designed to sterilize them and give them cancer. And it's a feeling beyond rage now of just the evil of it, the evil force that drives that the globalists look at giggling children and see them as the larva of an infestation upon the face of the world that they must exterminate. They get a thrill out of it. knowing that we don't know, knowing that we're simple-minded, knowing that we're not simple-minded. The fool on the hill sees the world going by. The fool on the hill sees the world spinning around. And the eyes in his head see the sun going down. Fool on the hill keeps perfectly still. That's still place. That's infinity. That's forever. That's a moment in forever. We live forever. And you go back to all your ancestors screaming out in your instincts to resist this dehumanization, screaming and saying, do you know what we did to get you to this level? Do you know everything we put on the line? Screaming through your genetics, screaming through your soul, saying, do something, awaken, sleeper, awaken, sleeper, awaken, awaken, rise, sleeping giant, rise, rise.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah. Infowars.com.
My judge, what is the secret of the universe?
Infowars.com.